Episode 5. We are having a Korean tapas, and we have two eternal guests. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. I haven't eaten dinner, so please forgive me that by saying is blah blah blah.
Yeah, I will understand your low energy.
감사합니다. 감사합니다. Muchas gracias. Today we're gonna talk about exercise.
Exercise.
So I know that you guys love exercising. No?
Love,
Right?
love, it's a strong word.
Okay, but you are some kind of 사범님. You're a master. And as I know, Jisang really loves running and doing some kind of exercise. I hate exercise, but I do. So I really wanted to talk about this topic because in modern day, it's really important getting in shape and making our physical health. So let's talk about it. So, what exercise do you do, you guys, individually?
So you already spoiled it. You said Jisang is a runner. So you like to run,
I mean,
Jisang?
Jisang, you first.
I was a big fan of marathon, obviously.
Marathons. Wow.
But from this summer, actually, I stopped running, and but that's because of some other reason. But in general, yeah, I love running and football, and I also do gym exercises. Yeah, weightlifting was also.
You're busy. So right now you're not doing anything, or
No, I'm just doing like weightlifting and football. Those two.
wow. How many times a week?
I go to gym like 3 or 4 times a week and play football like once in a week.
That's a lot, man.
Wow.
And how much time do you spend each day? Like if you go 4 times, for how long do you weightlift?
Like from 40 minutes to an hour, cause actually I'm doing a personal training lessons. So like
Okay.
2 of my exercises are actually lessons, and other 2 hours are my personal. My individual training
How much you
by
pay?
myself. Yeah.
How much you pay for one physical training?
For me, I mean, my gym has a program of how to say um I can say 800 euros for
What?
20 lessons. For 20
20 lessons.
lessons. Mhm.
So 20 lessons. If you do it 4 times a week, it's only
No. I do 2 times a week, and other 2 times are actually my own training without actual lessons.
wow. It's super expensive.
Why? The reason that I asked him because this is so common in Korea now. So for one physical training, around 50 euro, or
1 hour, it's 50 euros.
Yeah, that's like an
yes.
average price level of physical training in
Or
Korea.
Is it 1-to-1? Like is it you with a personal trainer and private lesson, or is it a group?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
what is it?
It's a private lesson, one-on-one
One-on-one.
lesson.
Wow.
This is so common now culture in Korea.
Yeah, especially after the COVID breakout, people tend to um, pay more attention for on their health condition. So the
Yeah, but
popularity of this
that's
personal trainings is getting higher and higher.
and do you think that this is cheap or it is expensive for you?
Obviously, it's expensive, but I know it's expensive, but I mean, comparatively to the other gyms that I know, and as Minky mentioned, that the average price level here is like 50 euros for an hour, but what I pay is like 30 to 40 euros per hour, so I don't feel that expensive. I mean, in comparison with other people. But
And
yeah,
what about the fee for just accessing the gym like a whole month?
I mean, without the trainer, you mean?
Yes. So for
It's
freestyle,
it's
you go there, you
it's
do whatever you want.
yeah, it's actually not that expensive. Of course, there's a lot of, I mean, there's a huge gap between the cheapest one and the most expensive one, but I can say that it'll be around 30 to 40 euros per month.
Then that's way cheaper than the private lesson. That's interesting.
Yeah, I know, and
I was
I
expecting
even
more.
know some people saying that this is actually a waste of money, but personally, I feel that I can see a I can obviously see the change of my body shape way faster than the time I spend just by myself in the gym. So
I mean,
it's
it's
obviously
definitely
more
easier,
effective.
right? With an
Yeah.
instructor, it's definitely easier than you
Mhm.
alone to motivate yourself
Mhm.
to get you up on from the couch and go to the gym. If you know somebody's waiting for you, it's easier than just going by
Mhm.
yourself.
I
Yeah.
mean, there is another exercise so-called Pilates. I'm not
Pilates,
sure
yes,
Pilates,
yeah.
and I heard that originally this exercise for men, but in
Mm.
Korea, the exercise is for women normally because of making body shape, and the lesson fee is quite twice about PT, twice than PT. This contract.
Interesting.
So quite for in my experience, I paid like around $70 to $100. Yes,
Per
seventy
hour?
dollars to $100 per hour. No,
Wow.
per yeah per
Month
hour. Yeah, it's
per hour?
yeah per hour. I
No
mean
way.
twice,
No way.
twice of physical training. So
So I'm doing something wrong here. So I mean, I don't know what's happening, but I'm doing something
welcome
wrong here
again.
in
Welcome to
Barcelona.
Korea. You will be rich.
But
I know
so
one on
complicated.
one, one on
So
one.
at my school, so as Minki mentioned, I am Haidong Gumdo instructor, right? Yes, Gumdo. So for those who don't know, just Korean martial art of the sword, different from Kendo, not Japanese, Korean, fully Korean. Been training for a long time, and now for what 6 7 years, I'm teaching classes. And at my school, we charge it's 50 euros a month.
But that's
50
not like a
euros per month.
one-on-one personal lesson.
No, but
No.
it's like you can come up to 4 hours a week,
Mhm.
and it's group. But it depends on because sometimes, yeah, as you know, as any group activities, some people show up one day, people don't show up the next day. Maybe they're busy, maybe they have things to do. But it's only like 50 euros, right? And you're saying that for a one-to-one Pilates class, it's 100 euros,
Yes.
which one class, private class in Korea,
Yes.
pays for 2 months in Barcelona.
But I don't
Interesting.
think that but I think that's the case for only one-on-one personal lessons, and I don't think the group lessons are that much expensive in Korea either.
So how much
Still,
would it be in Korea?
group lesson.
Yeah.
Let me
Do you
say
have any exact example of martial arts maybe?
martial
Because maybe
arts.
it's different when you go to a gym and it's like a spinning class, right? Riding a bicycle. Because it's not very personal. It's like the instructor just shouts the commands and says, now go harder, now go easier. But as you know, the martial arts is different. You have more personal attention and you foster growth of each individual. So it's a more, it's not one-to-one, certainly, but sometimes it might feel like it because maybe in a class there's 3 of us or 4 or whatever, and then you try to.
I think the price is related with the purpose of the exercise. What I meant is that I'm now doing swimming,
Yeah.
and for the swimming, I mean the lesson is quite need to be personal, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I pay like 100 euro per month actually.
Okay.
Okay, so
For
this
swimming
is so
classes.
reasonable, right? I mean, or around 100.
Well, it's double what we pay here, so it's interesting.
Yes, but the PT or
Mm-hmm.
Pilates,
Yeah.
yoga, the purpose of exercising is actually not for actual health. Uh,
It's not.
some of people do. Some of people do the exercise for making body shape. I mean, for looking good. And in my opinion, it's just my opinion, personal opinion.
No, I agree with you. So definitely there's different like dimensions of doing exercise, right? You can do exercise because you want to be more healthy, because of course you want to just health. You want to maybe improve your body line. You want to be more thin, whatever, more stronger. That definitely each person has its own goal, right? When doing personal exercise. But yeah, interesting.
Actually, I don't understand why the Pilates is so expensive and physical training one on one too. I mean, I paid like 70, see, $70 for one physical training.
Wow,
So
that's a lot.
that's a lot, and I just did 10. What can I say? 10 times
Yeah.
and done. Not
Right, because
anymore.
in ten individual classes, you might have like already the knowledge to move on yourself, right? You already know the technique, you already know what you need to do, and then you just move on doing it freestyle rather than being coached. Interesting, interesting. So here, I think like, my question would be to you guys on your generation, right? We're talking 2030. Do you think everybody works out, everybody does exercise, or do you know like young people below 30 that do nothing?
Young people do more, right?
I don't know.
I mean, in Korea,
I
we
In
do
mean,
Korea.
more.
I do see lots of young people who doesn't. I mean, who don't care nothing about their health.
Okay.
That's actually more than the people I see who care really much about their health. But obviously, when it comes to the generation, obviously younger generation tend to care more about their health condition than the older ones.
Okay, but you do know people that do nothing, never worked out, never goes to the gym, never goes running, nothing.
Honestly, like more than half of my friends are like that. I think.
Okay, more than half. Interesting.
Or they're interested in doing something. So these days,
Uh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I mean, these
Was
days,
it a question or are you saying something?
No. For me, it was a question.
I asked Minky if he was saying something else or he was asking me.
so these days, the young generation, we have some moda. What is moda in English?
Fashion?
Fashion trend,
Fashion trend. One of the fashion trend is like climbing mountain, golf, tennis.
Yeah,
golf.
exactly.
Okay,
Those three are the. I mean, we say that those three sports are the ones that got really, really popular during the pandemic.
but for younger
Golf,
people, I mean,
tennis,
do
and
you
yeah,
see
hiking.
a 22 years old guy doing golf? Okay,
Not for 22 years, but I mean the young 30s or late 20s.
okay, okay, around 30. All right, all right. Yeah, I guess. I mean, sure. I guess golf it's some sort of exercise. It's maybe debatable how much exercise you do, but okay, yeah,
We
I
call
see it.
it. I mean, in my opinion, we're doing that because of Instagram, some kind of influence.
Instagram. Oh man, that's bad. Okay,
I mean,
but
some
in,
of my
in
friends
contrary,
do.
tennis is super hard. If you do tennis, that's super like exhausting and cardio and speed and muscle. That's tough.
Yeah, I
I'm
tell you
saying this.
one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I tell you one interesting thing. I think Minky will agree with my idea that lots of people think, especially the younger generation, tend to think that like uploading photos of their mountain climbing look fancy.
Fancy, sexy, cool. You get
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
the girls. Yeah, definitely.
That's so interesting because, like, for 3 years ago or until 4 years ago, the mountain climbing or golf is especially for older people, like 50-year old or 60 over 60. But now it became so popular in young generation. They can afford, so these days they really care about what they look like. So the athlete, I mean, what can I say? The clothes
Yeah, the
and
looks like the
fashion.
picture and the fashion exactly. Yeah, I see that. I think not here. I mean, of course, you would have always certain kind of people that would do this sort of more rich. Because if you do golf, I mean, you have to have more money because usually it's private courses and it's more expensive, right? Than just going to the gym and just running on a treadmill. That's cheap enough. Interesting. Another question for you guys, since you are in the land of the martial arts, how many of your friends do actual martial arts right now? I'm not talking about school or military. I'm talking about right now, mid 20s, late 20s. Is there anybody you know that doing martial arts?
I tell you one funny thing. I bet that like more than half of the boys in our generation has learned at least one martial arts when they were a very young kid.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because I mean maybe it's in school, maybe it's doing taekwondo in the military. I don't know, but afterwards, is it in Korea popular to do that, or is it that because it's so normal for you guys that you that people don't do that? Because here it's different. Here it's something different. Everybody can go running. Everybody plays football. Everybody plays basketball, but people who play martial arts here, they're the minority, right? Because it's something different, foreign, from another culture, from another land. It's different stuff. We speak different languages, right? So that is what also was wondering for you guys. How do you see that?
Jisang, do you have any?
No friends.
I remember some of my friends learning and doing martial arts, but that was only until their university years. And after their graduation, I think I don't know anyone who still keep practicing them.
Interesting.
Me too. I mean,
Yeah, because of tough working hours here, probably.
No, but you're saying you spend time on the gym weightlifting and going for running. You could swap
But
those
that's-
for
Yeah, I mean,
taekwondo or
it's
whatever.
not logical, but it's considered to be very common and, I mean, easy to be seen around. So probably that's why.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I strongly agree because I know tons of people doing physical training or Pilates or yoga, flying yoga, blah blah blah, but not martial arts. About martial arts, I don't know anyone.
Wow, interesting. You don't know anybody. Cool.
Yes, anyone.
I know a friend who's really fanatic to jujitsu, but he's Canadian living in Korea, so
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
No.
Canadian, bye.
Yeah.
Exactly, because I mean, for me it's interesting again because for you it's so normal, right? Taekwondo, hapkido, whatever, all those things they're so second nature. Like you've seen schools around the corner everywhere, but here is so uncommon, right? To know somebody who's doing these things, or even worse, that they're black belts, which they spent a lot of time, lots of hours. They're good at it. Interesting.
Actually,
That was
interesting.
also go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
really.
Yeah, because I mean that was my point of view when I visited Korea several times. When I went to some dojang, some schools there, and usually the people that are there are super young. It was very rare for me to see older people, and I saw a few old persons, like sure, grown-ups, 40s and 30s, but usually it's only kids. So that's why I wanted to ask you, because I only
Yeah.
see kids training.
Yeah, actually, this comes from my personal, experience. Like a few years ago, once I thought that it would be good to re-practice taekwondo because I only practiced it when I was very young kid, like 7 or 8 years old. But when I was like 22 or 23, suddenly I thought it would be a good method to train myself mentally and physically at the same time. But just like you mentioned, in most of the gyms, dojang, most of the time it's like a kindergarten. I mean, to be honest,
Ah,
so crowded. So it's actually very like uncomfortable to us to go to those places. I mean,
interesting.
the will has to be very strong to, stand that atmosphere around the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so they don't have like adult classes. It's like if you go there, you might be training with 10-year-olds or 12-year-olds, right?
I
people on your
think
own
there
age.
would be some adult classes, but not so many. Like only like
Not so many.
like once a day or twice a day, like that.
Interesting. Because here it's very normal. Like at my school, they do. Of course, I teach Haidong Gumdo and also a master who teaches Taekwondo. And funny enough, there's a master who teaches Karate, right, in the same school. Any case, for Taekwondo, for instance, they have 3 classes a day, right? And of course, there are different age groups. Like first, it's very, very small, 4, 5, 6-year-old, and then you have 15, whatever, and then of course you have older. So you could just go to the old adult classes and you would not see any children. But there, yeah, interesting. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't like to train with 10-year-olds because it's different. The way you approach the exercise, the way you approach your martial art or whatever, it's different. So, interesting. How far did you get when you were taekwondo? Yellow belt, orange,
Me?
blue? Yeah, you.
I trained for a year, I guess.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Still far from the black belt, but I mean, I
A little
practiced
bit,
quite a
yes.
lot. I mean, for my criteria, yeah. 1 year.
1 year black belt? No, it's too fast. Too fast.
I mean, in Spain, like us, do you have any fashion trend about the exercise in young generation, especially? Or
I do not see a specific one, but definitely things move around. So I know people that do this rock climbing, right? No, not mountain climbing, but rock, like yes, exactly.
Okay.
So either indoors, right, or either real life
Sports climbing.
outdoors. Yeah, exactly. It's a sport on rocks, right? You climb there and you put your feet there and things like that. But you see bicycle people doing lots of bicycle. You see runners. I have friends who run. They even try to do marathons. I have friends who do bicycle stuff. I don't see a specific trend as you guys do with golf or tennis. I think we've always had this. If you go to Barcelona, there's always like the upper part of Barcelona, the richest part of Barcelona, where they have these private tennis clubs and private swim clubs for rich people, even like horse riding clubs. And if you walk down those areas, you see the kind of people that go there. Because again, renting a tennis court for you alone, it's expensive, right? So you have to have a different kind of income. It's not like you go to the gym weightlift, you pay 20 euros or 30 euros, you're done, right? You go as many as you want, cheap, affordable. But for tennis and golf, you have to have a higher income.
one of the changed trend in Korea is like before we always went to some kind of school, some martial arts school or a school, but nowadays they are gathering people with the application and they're making crew. They're calling crew. So we have so many running crew
on the street, right? I've seen this after COVID. I've seen that since people could not go to the indoors for regulations, mask, whatever. I see I have a park right in front of my house, my apartment, and I see them late at 7 p.m. and 8 at night, where they gather people and they just do it outdoors. What they used to do out indoors, they I don't know, cardio stuff, right? Jumping and doing push-ups and things like that. And they do it outdoors with a small music box, and it's classes outside. So yeah, I've seen what you're saying, Minki. Cruise. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and actually that in Korea, that's another example of the change of a trends in terms of the popularity of a sport, because until a few years ago, running had been considered to be very old sport. I mean, only the one for the older generation, but in the recent years, because of the thing that Minki mentioned, because of those gatherings, it got really, really popular among younger generation, and now it's considered to be, the potential option for young people as well.
Running is hard. It's not for very old people. If you want to run fast, it's hard.
From my experience,
jogging is one thing, but if you want to run,
for us, running means in between the jogging and running that you just mentioned. Okay. We just call all those two concepts as just running.
Okay.
And from my experience, I thought when I went to Spain, there were many more people who enjoyed jogging or running than we do here. But nowadays, the number of people who are practicing them are increasing and increasing.
It's good. Here you would have people that do absolutely nothing. People, especially, I'm talking with the other master at my school, the Taekwondo master, and we often chat of how the youngest generations now, I'm talking about 14, 15 now, right? They don't want to do anything. they would prefer stay at home with TikTok and Instagram and do
Oh, okay.
absolutely nothing. Sure, they learn at school and then they do their English lessons extra, whatever. But like physical exercise, they just don't want to do because of course it's tiring because it's you sweat and you get tired and that's part of it, and they don't want to do it.
I think the one of the reason that these kind of sports are getting popular in young generation in Korea is that they want to meet people. They want to meet people, and one of the way to make a reason is like, oh, let's gather together and run.
Tinder, but
Uh,
for sports. Okay, yeah.
because I've seen and I've listened so many, what can I say, so many trying to make new people in that running crew or badminton crew,
That's, I mean,
sports
I
climbing.
think that's 99% correct. 99% truth.
Thank you.
Nice.
Because I
Spot
haven't
on.
seen a single running crew in Korea running faster than me.
So they just meet for meeting new people, and then they go for beers afterwards. But the actual
Yeah,
running
yeah,
is just an
yes,
excuse.
There might be some, but I believe it's less than the half of the groups.
Well, I mean, it's fine. I mean, sure, whatever. It's better than just going to the pub or bar and just drinking. If you do a little bit of exercise, then it's good.
I mean, what Jisang, what do you have any opinion of the body profile? I mean, now one of the another trend in Korea is taking a
Yeah,
picture of body
that's a
profile
trend here. Yeah.
and uploading in SNS. You know, Korea is like really conservative country, so we're like we normally don't expose our body, nothing, and nowadays they are exposing a good body,
But that's the case only for body profile. That's like an exception, I guess.
a body profile, but it's kind of like trend.
Mhm.
I was surprised, like why, like, or there are so many people.
So give me an example. So what do you mean, like showing more, or you mean in Instagram, like posting yourself a
In
selfie
Instagram,
Yeah, exactly. So
without a T-shirt, something like that?
yeah, so body profile actually means here like building up their body as best as they can and
Okay.
removes their fat as much as they can to be seen as very like a, how to say, bodybuilder, not a bodybuilder but very fit. I mean,
Very
but
Hollywood. Yeah.
yeah, very Hollywood, but only for a few days for the picture that they would
Oh,
upload
really?
online.
A
Yeah.
few days. Oh, that's different.
So
Okay, so I
after
thought.
that, they might go back to their past body.
Chimek, drinking
Wow.
beer.
Wow. It's only for the picture. Interesting.
Yeah. So the concept is like we should like at least make our best out of our body when we were young enough. That's the
Yeah, but
concept.
man. So you take the picture with your six pack, no fat, super slim, and then you let yourself go away. You meet somebody 2 months ago, and they see your profile picture, they see you in life, and who are you?
Yeah, yeah. But still, people talk about like I did this, I did this. Like
Ah,
I mean, so I
but
was
that's
this
okay.
guy like that.
But that's super hard. I mean, if you try to push like sprinting, like you say, okay, I'm gonna eat super healthy for these 2 months. I'm gonna drink zero alcohol, do a lot of sports, do everything I
Chicken
can.
breast.
Yeah, everything, right? So you look at your diet, you eat everything like as close as perfect as you possibly can. That's super stressful, and then you end up when you finish that period, you go back to eating cakes and eating whatever and drinking soju. That's not healthy. I mean, isn't it better to try and change your way a little bit, not to the extreme, but maybe change it a little bit so you have a longer and healthier life,
Yeah,
rather than
everybody knows
just
that what you're
2 months.
saying is correct. I mean,
But
everybody
they don't
knows.
care. They don't care.
Yeah,
Okay.
as I told you that the concept is to, I mean, to have
The
at
picture.
least once the best form they can have like
Okay.
in
in their
young
life. Yeah.
in young age, like 20 or 30.
Right.
I mean, it was quite interesting for me, like because you know how we are conservative, like we never did that. And I had one friend who did the first time in like 2 years ago, and she was a like trendsetter. When she did that, everybody was screamed and they make not good talking about her. I mean, I was why she will be, okay, say confident with herself. So it's good thing, the shape and oh, I know, but still, blah blah blah. They told me, and a year later, everybody was taking a picture.
Haha, people change.
I was surprised, like, wow, they changed so fast.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's everywhere. Right? People might see not that something that's not normal, as you're saying, but then 1 year passes and everybody says, "Oh, this is a new normal. Let's do it." Everybody does it, and you look like an idiot because you talked bad about someone, but then you're doing it. You're an hypocrite. So it's all good. Cool,
Yeah.
Minky. What else?
So like, I mean, I really, actually, we can talk about, I mean, what exercise do you want to do in the future? Not current. If you can choose, not, if you can choose another exercise, what do you want to try?
Complicated. It depends on my age.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Right, because I mean, I let's say if I'm like 50, I do not plan on doing tennis. That's too extreme for you, joints and everything,
okay.
right? You wouldn't do that. But you might take paddle. Do you know paddle? Do you know paddle? No, paddle. No, not
Paddle.
badminton.
Paddle?
Paddle is like small tennis with 4 people.
Yeah, that's very popular in Spain, no?
It's super popular in Spain. Super popular because it's the court is very small and it's not as demanding as tennis, of course, because it's small. You play 4 people, and in tennis, like if somebody is a little bit good, you will not play anything because they throw so fast at you that you just cannot get to any ball, right? But with paddle, because the ball can just bounce off the walls and you can still hit it and it's legal, it's way more easy to get to, and 4 people can enjoy it a lot. I don't see the appeal to me. I know a lot of people do that, but for instance, that's something I might try because it's not as like physically demanding as something else, right? So depending on my age, I would might perhaps choose something else or just stick to martial arts, which are fantastic. I'm 80 years old. I can still practice martial arts, no problem.
Oh, interesting. I mean, paddle.
Or I don't know, but things that you have to look after yourself. I mean, you would not be running 5K, 10K if you're maybe 70, right? I mean, maybe your heart explodes. You don't want to do that. Or rock climbing at 70. Depends on your age. Something that keeps you healthy, but also something that does not destroy you if you do it badly or without technique.
And Jisang,
In a marathon race, I saw a man in 70s running faster than me.
Sure, there are always cases. Sure. Yes, totally.
Jisang, what do you want to do in the? I mean, if you can choose, what do you do in the future? Exercise.
I mean, actually, I'm in the middle of that. How to say? It's a little bit difficult to describe what I'm thinking nowadays, but I think that the sports that I had been loving has to be, I mean, not done, but a little bit. How to say? In other words, I have to change my hobbies in terms of doing exercise or sports because, so for example, I told you guys that I loved running and playing football, but those two altogether gives lots of burden to my knees, especially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So recently, I thought I'm not like disgracing those sports or disgracing the lovers fans of these ones, but probably these are more adequate for the young people. So I've been thinking about other ones that I can enjoy without feeling pain in my knees.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
probably I will try to learn, for example, scuba diving from the next year.
Wow.
I
Be careful.
recommend you.
That's
I
dangerous. Be careful. Do what your instructors say. It's always dangerous.
Swimming, strongly recommend.
Yeah, swimming is good. I think great back, great muscles, everything. It's good, I think.
For the knee, especially.
Yeah, recently I'm feeling why all the football players retire around their 32 or 33.
Now you know. Now you know.
we're getting that age.
But Minky, how do you? So now we are in November, but what about in January? You will still go swimming in January or February? With it's so cold outside. How do you get into the water?
Siempre. Always. I
Siempre,
mean, no,
always.
it's indoor sports. It's not like
I
outdoors.
still I know it's indoors, but it's cold. Maybe
Uh,
just snowing outside. How do you do that?
after you take a shower, and if you don't dry your hair, it's getting iced.
Yeah,
Wow,
and I
that's
remember that along your way from the swimming pool to the locker room, it's very cold.
Oh, especially yes, yes, yes. Outside of the swimming pool and until the locker room, it's like horrible.
it's a
freezing.
corridor of death.
Yeah. It's just like 10 seconds, and it made me crazy. 10 seconds, 5 seconds, or
That's what I'm saying. That swimming in during winter, you have to be strong to say, okay, I'm gonna go there. I know it's water. It's gonna be a little bit cold. So
actually, I'm not good at exercise. I mean, even though my father is a PE teacher.
aha.
My father is a PE teacher, and he taught me tennis around when I was 8 years old, and he gave up. Oh, you're not good. He literally gave up.
Oh, it's a
Okay,
lost case. I'm sorry, Minky. You're not good at it. Just forget
okay,
about
son.
it.
Okay, my son. I mean, my younger brother is good at exercise, but me, I'm good
Okay,
at
son. Just go do something else, son. I'm sorry,
something else.
son.
So I majored in Spanish.
Yeah, the fallback was Spanish. Okay, tennis player or Spanish? Good. I'm glad you chose Spanish. It's good. Otherwise, we
Well,
wouldn't have met. So
But I really wanted to do. Seriously, I really wanted to learn some kinds of martial arts.
it's never too late.
Never too late, but I'm not good at exercise, and I have and furthermore, I have a knee surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a knee surgery, so it's quite difficult to have a rock climbing and mountain climbing. Everybody asked me, "Let's go to mountain climb," and I rejected. I'm sorry, my knee. I
Yeah.
mean, is it okay to do like boxing or jiu-jitsu with this knee? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I mean, you would have to do some research and then, of course, talk to whoever is teaching the classes, tell them your case, like, hey, you have bad knees, is it a problem or not? How are the movements, things like that, right?
So the one of the important thing is that doing right.
Doing it
Like
right, yes, it's
yeah,
important.
I had knee surgery. I had so many injury from doing exercise bad. So doing right is. Do you have any? What can I say? Do you have anything to introduce? There's some kind of new sports or interesting sports exercise.
New sports.
I mean, I can give you like what do we say? Into diving in.
Wow, diving, okay, from like, yeah, you jump into the pool from
But
certain.
what I wanted to say. Do you have any right word? I don't know. Like not skiing scuba, but with the oxygen tank, you go deep into the water.
That's the scuba diving, no?
What I really I mean, what I was thinking was like skin scuba is just with the oxygen tank and doing round, but deep into until like 40 meter or 50 meter or 100 meter.
Okay,
It's kind of different, no? Is it same?
right. I mean, the people who do that without oxygen, they do it with they just they get air and then just go down. But that's dangerous. Don't do that.
That can be same.
If you want to do scuba diving, do it and look at the fishes and things like that. Go to what was the island again? Jeju Island. Do some scuba diving there, or whatever island you have in Korea. I don't know.
When I was in Spain, I saw so many people surfing.
Yeah, it depends on the area, right? So it should be not the Mediterranean, like not the let's say Barcelona coast, but you would have to go north or west, right? Either to Portugal or the north. You have the Atlantic Sea, which is stronger to do this kind of things. I know Barcelona, people do that in Barcelona, but they have these apps, right? The mobile apps, and then they get the notification saying, hey, right now there are good waves in Barcelona, and they stop what they're doing. They go off of work, they get the surfboard, and they run to the beach because it's so rare to have good waves in Barcelona that,
Okay.
right?
Phew. Okay. That's all for today. Thank you very much. And next topic, please concentrate on next topic again. And tonight, let's sleep. For us, let's sleep.
Okay.
See you
I'll
next
come
time,
up with
guys.
a good new topic next time.
Yes, hopefully.
Thank
So
you.
it'll be in
Thank
2
you.
weeks, right?
Yes.
Hopefully. If any listener has any good idea on what we should talk about, just leave us a comment and we try to talk about it.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye. Have a nice day.